Frank Winfield Woolworth founded the stores which bore his name originally in Pennsylvania, one of the 5 and dime stores across America. The first British shop opened in Liverpool in 1909, with Norwich opening on what is now the site of Debenhams as the 44th store and the last one to be opened before the First World War. So Woolies had its first store on the corner of Red Lion and Rampant Horse Streets, with the 5 and dime anglicised to a 3pence and 6pence store. By 1929, Woolies needed to expand to larger premises on the opposite side of Rampant Horse Street. These are the architect's drawings, and this is the shop in 1937. In 1942, the Rampant Horse Street store was destroyed by bombs and had to be rebuilt. This is the result of that rebuilding seen in 1950. It's the 1950s internal arrangement with individual counters and tills. It hadn't changed too much by 1968, but they did have newfangled escalators to the upper floor. Also on the upper floor was a large and popular canteen. This 1986 photo shows an updated frontage, and shortly after this the Rampant Horse Street store was relocated. It's now part of a large Marks and Spencer's. So let's move on to Magdalen Street and the site of what was affectionately known as Little Woolies, which you can see there right behind that bus. Now occupied by Spice Valley, Woolworths opened here in 1934 in a listed building that had previously been a pub. Remembered for its dark wooden floors, it was something of a contrast to the larger and brighter branch in the city centre. Magdalen Street closed in 1975. When Rampant Horse Street closed in 1988, Woolies moved to a former Sainsbury's in St Stephen's Street. It stayed there until the early 2000s, when the site had a number of temporary uses before forming an entrance to Chapel Field, now known as Chantry Place. Woolies moved to Riverside in 2002, beginning life there as Big W before being rebranded as Woolworths in 2005. It's now a branch of B&M. All branches of Woolworths closed by 2009, exactly 100 years after their UK introduction. Let's have a look at some of the things they sold. Ladybird clothing, Chad Valley toys and Pick and Mix. Embassy Records produced cover versions of current hit songs and were sold exclusively at Woolies at a lower price than the originals. DJ Alan Freeman opened a modernised record department in Rampant Horse Street in 1970, and that was where I bought my first 2 records, and here they are, still looking good 50 years later. One of them, Sweet Caroline, had a big year in 2020, firstly with Neil Diamond rewriting the words for a pandemic, and then releasing a global sing-along to inspire people to come together. The Woolworths trademark is now owned by online retailer Very, and if you ever hear of Woolworths or Big W in Australia, bear in mind there's no connection with those that were in the